Thanks for staying with us. You're watching The World Now. The United Nations General Assembly has voted overwhelmingly to pass a resolution demanding an immediate, unconditional and permanent ceasefire in Gaza. It was adopted with 158 votes in favor from the 193-member assembly, with 9 votes against it and 13 abstentions. That resolution demands that Israel respect the work of the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees, the UNRWA's mandate, and calls on Israeli government to abide by its international obligations. It is to also allow for rapid, safe and unhindered humanitarian assistance throughout the entire Gaza Strip. Speaker after speaker called for an end to Israel's 14-month war on the Palestinian territory that has reportedly killed at least 44,000 people, mostly Palestinian women and children. For more on this repeated calls for a ceasefire in Gaza by the United Nations General Assembly, let's bring in political commentator Olabode Oseni. Joins us from the United Kingdom. It's good to have you join us on The World Now.
Thank you very much for having me.
For the first time, we see Germany and Italy vote in favor of a ceasefire in Gaza. As a result, the United States is the only country in the G7, right? That's the major industrialized nations that continues to oppose the ceasefire. What do you think is the implication of the UN General Assembly's vote for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza?
Thank you again. If America continues to be belligerent, continue to do what they're doing in terms of blocking reasonable, sensible draft resolution to stop the war in Gaza, it clearly shows that their interest is only just to continue to finance conflict, to continue to make trouble in Middle East somewhere there, and Israel, Gaza, and some other part of the world, which is very, very unfortunate. So the implication will be that the world continue to become very, very unstable, and because you never know where all this is going to end. And the amount of money America is making from the selling arms and that kind of thing, you only need the fraction to find peace for the world.
But do you think it will likely have any impact on the conflicts, given that United Nations has once again called for a ceasefire in Gaza?
Well, the impact is going to be, when you look at the 158 countries that voted for unconditional ceasefire, and most of the Western countries, Italy, Germany, and probably I think UK also, supporting, but unfortunately those countries, they don't have the veto power, so they're unable to undo what America is starting to get in terms of, they just want to show that they're powerful, and also their interest in Israel is more than other countries of the world. So this will affect economy, because as long as the area is unsettled, you can imagine that trading and some other things will be affected considerably.
What do you think, given historically we've seen Israel being skeptical about UN interventions in the conflict, do you think the Israeli government will respond to this resolution?
Yeah, Israel will not, because I've just said that. As long as Israel look at the back, I look at his back and see America there, the very powerful, mighty, and you know, just like in Africa, people say if a hunter has a good dog or whatever, I mean, a dog can kill anything. America is the backbone of Israel, and as long as Israel continues to support, to continue to veto all the draft resolutions, in the last couple of months, America have vetoed about 4 times. And again, Israel will continue to play stubborn. It will continue to be like nobody can tell them what to do. But the day America ceases to support their, let me use the word stubbornness or anything, there will be changes in everything, and there'll be rooms for negotiation, because the way it is, like I said, a fraction amount of money is needed to sort out the problem, Israel-Palestinian war. The world cannot continue to endure this kind of thing, because like I said, indirectly it affects the economy in Middle East and some other parts of the world.
But If you take a look at the potential consequences for the region, what would you say will be the consequences if this ceasefire is not respected? Because already we've seen that at least 44,000 persons have been killed in this war. That's aside the humanitarian crisis that is in the Gaza Strip. But what really are the potential consequences if this ceasefire is not respected?
The consequence is clear. And it's also going to be a case of more people are going to be killed, which the world don't need people being killed through this method. Because at the end of the day, it also has to be seen that the world, via the World Court, is now saying that the genocide is being perpetrated, is being committed in that area. And the mere fact that America insists, for whatever good reasons they have, that the support of unconditional, they don't want to support ceasefire unless otherwise Israel gets the abducted hostages of October last year. That will continue to bring problems. And as you said, thousands and thousands of people are being killed needlessly, children, women, and some other people who are traditionally not involved. They have nothing to do with the war. And also, this war can also extend to some other part of the Middle East. As you can see, indirectly it's affecting Iran, and I can understand why many other Middle East countries don't want to get involved, but they don't. They see us Israel as a bully, and they don't want their homes, country to be destroyed. So I think this kind of attitude between, with America and Israel is just not helping the global order. It's not helping the world. And that's why some people are now looking forward that if the new incoming president, Donald Trump, comes in, he might use some of his bad tactics to stop the war. And again, like I said, the best and final solution should be a two-state resolution where the two states can live side by side. But then again, because the greed of Israel wants to completely destroy Israel, remain to be what they want to do. And also, why do you want to do that for now? The interest of the Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, who also doesn't want to leave power because of some other things that are waiting him. So he rather like to continue the war as it is. All this put together is a very sad moment for the world.
But taking a look at I would call it rhetorics, from the United Nations, because it seems it's not getting anywhere. When the call for a ceasefire, it seems the international community is in that space where their words just ends within United Nations walls. But how do you think international community can really balance the need to protect civilians in Gaza with the need to address some of the security concerns of Israel?
That's going to be very difficult. It's going to be a tall order as long as the Security Council comprises of 14 members, and then these 5 permanent members have veto. They can veto, they can do it, they can undo. Even though it's getting better, because as it is now, as we speak, it's only America that is showing or using its veto to make things impossible. So as long as these powers are still residual in the hands of these 5 permanent countries, it might be very difficult. The UN can vote as many times as possible. Out of the 193 countries, 158 voted for. But once one of the permanent members raises his hand or whatever, or vote against, that's it. And that is the imbalance that I think the other countries of the world need to sit down and renegotiate, redesign, reappraise how best to move forward. 5 countries cannot continue to hold the whole world. So the jugular to do what they want to do when they want to do it, I think it's continuing to elude their peace. And I think the impact is if America say we don't want to support something, war can continue in Iran, can continue everywhere. I think that is not really good for the whole world.
Political commentator Olabode Hussaini, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us on TVC News.
My pleasure, Demi. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend.